Hi there, welcome to the Makeup Hunter. I'm Laura. Thank you for joining me today. For today's video, I thought I would do a first impressions and a makeup look using the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I only got this on Saturday, today's Monday, and I've been waiting to use it for the first time on camera. I've mentioned previously about Natasha Denonas palettes. I have two. I have the bronze palette and the Metropolis palette, and this is her latest launch. It was only launched in the UK on Friday, and I ordered this for next day shipping before 8 AM. I was stalking the internet. Cult Beauty, look fantastic, feel unique, all of her UK suppliers waiting for it to launch, and I finally managed to get it on Cult Beauty about 7 AM. So this is the palette. It's absolutely stunning. It's her cool toned palette. Now historically I'm not really a fan of cool tones. I don't think I own a cool toned palette other than like blues and greens. I don't have any real cool toned neutrals, so this is very different for me. It's not something I would usually gravitate towards, but I just absolutely love her formula. I love the way her shadows performed, and I thought this was really nice alternative for a fall palette. Like fall colours, autumn colours, as you know, very rusty, warm tones, and I just thought this was really different. But I think it's a truly beautiful palette. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to be doing a look with that today. Just a couple of things to mention. As mentioned in my previous videos, I do have my fan on. It's incredibly sunny and warm today, and my bedroom is like a greenhouse. I've already had to have a couple of breaks before filming this video, and as you can see, I'm extremely red in the face. I'm really hot. I have my curtains open just a crack for a little bit of natural daylight, and I have a ring light on, so I'm really hoping the lighting is going to be okay. I don't want to open my curtains fully because it will be blinding sunlight, so I've just got them open a crack. So one of the things I want to mention, I've had the same t-shirt on for my last 3 videos, and I just want to be clear, I'm not a tramp, not living in the same t-shirt for like weeks on end, but when I do makeup I don't like to wear outdoor clothes, so I literally stick a baggy t-shirt on while I do my makeup and then take it off and change into whatever I'm going to be putting on. So I've only had this t-shirt on for like the filming of my last couple of videos and then took it straight off. So it's very clean. I'm very clean. I do own other clothes, as you've seen in previous videos. I can't be one of these YouTubers who wears a beautiful crisp white shirt and does a full face of makeup, because I would end up the same colour as my foundation. I just am too clumsy for that. So let's get into this. So we're going to do first impressions on the Natasha Denona Glam palette, and I'm also going to do a full face of makeup. As I mentioned, I got my palette off Cult Beauty. It's also available on Look Fantastic, Feel Unique, and I think Selfridges. I'm not 100% sure, and it was £60. So that's the palette. Let's get started. Okay, so I've just scraped my hair off my face. I was gonna leave it just scraped back, but I'm too hot. It keeps falling forward and it's annoying me. So first things first, I've already done all of my skincare. I've got a glowy serum on, which has given me a little bit of a glowy aura, but I'm now going to go in with my SPF, as I haven't put any on yet today. I use SPF daily, but because my SPF is a tinted product, I do it as part of my makeup routine. The one that I use mostly is the Helio Care Gel Colour Cream in Light, and this is like a tinted moisturiser. It has some coverage to it. It's beautiful, and I tend to use this and then put a tinted moisturiser on top, or a glowy product like I used in my recent Get Ready With Me, the NARS Tinted Glow Booster. So that is the one that I would usually use, but today I'm going to try this new one that I've got, which is the Helio Care Sun Touch. This is SPF 50, and this is very like the NARS Tinted Glow Booster or the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. It's a very luminescent product. It's skin toned, light skin toned, with a sort of slight golden glow to it, but it does have a level of coverage. You can sort of see the colour of it on the cap. I've used this once or twice previously. It's beautiful. I absolutely love this product. That's the colour of it. I've just squeezed about a pea-sized amount, and I'm just going to apply this all over my face. Now with SPF, it isn't a case of a little goes a long way. You do need to use a decent amount of product to get the level of, you know, the appropriate level of coverage. So I am going in with just a little bit more, just to do my forehead and under my chin. Smells beautiful as well, and I love the Helio Care SPF because it gives a beautiful dewy finish, but it doesn't feel heavy and greasy like a lot of facial SPFs do. On top of that, I'm going to be using the Colourpop No Filter foundation stick. Mine is in the shade Light 40N. They have a huge range of colours in this foundation stick. This is it's quite a dewy foundation stick. It's very emollient when you're blending it into the skin. It's very slippy. I do find some foundation sticks can be quite dry, and on dry skin they're not always ideal, but this one is, in my opinion, very dewy. Now obviously I use hydrating, dew giving products underneath my makeup anyway, so that may play a part in it, but I don't know how somebody with oily skin would fare with this foundation, because I find it's quite tacky on the skin. It never really fully sets down. So this is usually the foundation that I have on if I am filming and have done my makeup before coming on camera, because it gives a lovely amount of coverage. It's super quick. It doesn't feel particularly heavy, and I like the radiance that it has to it. So I'm just going to be blending that in using the Colourpop Pretty Fresh sponge. Now a lot of foundation sticks don't blend very well with a sponge because they're quite dry and draggy. They apply much better with a brush, but I find this one, because it is so emollient and easy to manipulate, I find it goes on absolutely fine with sponge. And I much prefer using a sponge to apply my base products, because the sponge takes a lot of the excess product away, and really presses the product into the skin. Okay, so I'm just pressing. I've blended it all in, it's all seamless, and I'm just spending a little extra time just pressing the product in. Okay, and now I'm going to bring you a little bit closer so you can see my skin close up. Okay, so now I'm going to just apply some concealer under my eyes. I'm not going to use an under eye brightener because I feel I've got enough glow going on at the moment. So I'm just going to use the L'Oreal Infallible concealer under my eye. And I'm just going to use it to slightly highlight my forehead and chin. So just blend that in. Now this is, I find, a super full coverage concealer, and I do find it's quite matte, so it sets quite nicely underneath the eyes. So as you can see, I've just blended that in. I'm going to go ahead and finish blending my concealer out, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I have finished blending out my concealer, and I've also set everything down. I've used a mixture of my YSL Soufflé d'Eclat powder with a little bit of the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil in Featherlight. Just mixed a tiny bit of this into this YSL powder, and I've set all over my face. Usually I would cream bronze and I would only set underneath my eyes and my expression lines, but the Colourpop foundation stick is, as I say, it moves about on me. I tend to only wear it for filming because I'm wearing it for a short period of time. It's a beautiful foundation, it's just not one that I can wear for very long periods of time. So I've set everything down. I no longer feel tacky or sticky, and I've just brushed my brows through. So now what I'm going to do is, today I'm going to powder bronze rather than cream bronze, as I said, and I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow, Film Star Bronze and Glow. I have the fair medium shade. This is just a powder bronzer and a highlighter, and I'm going to be using this big brush from Inglot. It's the 1SS brush. So let's get my skin with some colour into it, because I am looking super pale at the moment. Now this brush isn't a particularly dense brush. It's a nice large brush, but it isn't very dense, so it's going to give a lighter wash of bronze rather than a big deep strip. As you can see, it's just giving me some slight warmth. It's a sculpting powder, so it is a contouring powder, but I'm not using it to contour, I'm just using it to warm up my skin ever so slightly. And I'm going to just take that across the centre of my face a little. My brush is shedding, so that's just added a little bit of warmth, nothing over the top. Now what I'm going to do before I go any further is I'm going to use my Colourpop Pretty Fresh setting spray. I like to use this after I've used powder and bronzer, just to set everything down and to take the powdery look away. Okay, now I'm just going to let that dry. What I'm going to do next is give my brows a final brush through, and I'm going to use the MAC paint pot in Laying Low all over my eyes as my eye primer. So I'm going to do that and then I'll come back. Okay, so I've finished both eyes, and all I've done different while I've been off camera is I've used the shade Brow Bone that I used on the first part of my lid on my inner corners. So I'm just going to go through the shades that I used. So as my initial transition shade, I used this shade, then this shade to deepen up the outer corners, then this was the first shimmer shade that I used on the inner half of my lid and inner corners, and then I used this shade, this bronzy shade, on the outer part of my lid, and that's the look that I've come up with. It's really quite soft and wearable, but I think Glam is the perfect name for the palette, because I think no matter what shade that you use, you do have that level of like smoky glam. Now, as I've mentioned in my previous video, I've had a lash lift and a brow lamination, and I wouldn't usually use mascara after having the lash lift such a short while ago. I've had it just over about a week and a half now. But with a look like this, I do think I need some mascara. So I'm going to use a tiny bit of the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. This is a tubing mascara, so it won't smudge or flake throughout the day. I usually curl my lashes every time I use mascara, but I don't need to because I've had the lash lift. So I'm literally just going to put a couple of thin coats of mascara on. And that's just so that my lashes aren't lost amongst the darker eyeshadow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just bring you a little bit closer so you can see the eyes properly, and turn towards the window. I just think it's really beautiful palette, and it's so quick and easy to use. Her formula's just beautiful. Right, so now just to finish off the rest of the face, I'm going to highlight, blush and put something on my lips. So for highlight, I think I'm just going to stick to the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, and I'm just going to use the highlight shade. This is a beautiful golden toned highlight, but it's not too dark. It doesn't leave any cast on my skin. So I'm just going to apply that to the usual places. It's a lovely subtle highlight, but it can be built up if you wish. Just down my nose, on my chin, and a little across my forehead. And the brush that I was using to apply that is a Colourpop F5. Okay, so now for blush. And I think for today's blush I'm going to use the same blush that I used in my last video, which is the MAC Never Say Never blush. I just think this is a really pretty pinky pop. So I'm just going to use a tiny bit of this using the same brush I did last time, which is the Zoeva 105 Luxe Highlight. And I'm just going to apply that to the apples of the cheeks. just gives me a nice little flush of colour. And for the lips, I'm going to do another red lip. I can't help myself. Red orange, but today I'm going to use the YSL. This is the Rouge Pour Couture, and it's in the shade number 9, and this is like their liquid lipstick, but it doesn't dry down. It's quite it's like a liquid lip stain, I would say. It's quite glossy. I just need to line my lips with something. I'm still working from the makeup bag that I packed to go on holiday, so I'm got stuff in compartments and all packed away, so I don't have like my full range here. So I'm going to use just Blossom again, which is the Morphe lip liner. And now this lipstick, my mum actually gave me this. It's one that's gone between us. I bought it, then gave it her when I went off reds, and now she's given it me back. Now I'm back onto reds. This is a beautiful colour. It is an orange toned red, I would say, more than a blue based red, but it's just lovely. It's not completely opaque, as it is more of a stain. And it's very balmy. And that is my finished look. So let's bring you closer again. It's a little bit dark over this side of the room. There we go. I am obsessed with that eyeshadow palette. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I am actually planning on doing a series with my Natasha Denonas palettes. I wanted to do a look using the bronze and the Metropolis palette, maybe a couple of looks using the Metropolis palette. So if anybody would be interested in seeing that, please subscribe to my channel. I'm really working hard on growing my YouTube and my Instagram. My Instagram is the same, it's _makeup hunter. Working really hard on both my YouTube and my Instagram to try and grow both of them. So any likes, comments and subscribers, I really do appreciate you. So that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're all staying safe, that you're well, that your families are well, and lots of love to you all. Just from me today, because Ray is with my mum. He's left me for the day. He's having a nap with my mum. So lots of love. Bye.